The greatest creator is supremely powerful. 7. 上帝是超能的. The entire universe is a collection of various energies, and within this energy collection, there is an energy cluster. The relationship between the collection and the energy cluster is like that between the egg white and yolk of an egg. Within this energy cluster, yolk, is a small energy embryo, and within this embryo is an even smaller nucleus. This nucleus is the central nervous system of the universe, the consciousness of energy, the thinking area of the universe, which is the greatest creator. Energy itself does not have consciousness or awareness. The huge energy released by an atomic bomb can kill both bad people and good people, destroy the palace of a king, and level the hut of an ordinary person because energy is unconscious. Energy is incredibly powerful, but even more powerful is thinking. That is to say, the minds of the scientists who made the atomic bomb are more powerful than the atomic bomb itself. The small nucleus in the energy cluster, the central nervous system of the universe, the greatest creator, is more powerful than the total energy of the universe. Therefore, the greatest creator is supremely powerful, beyond energy. 8. 上帝是智慧的. The greatest creator is intelligent. The greatest creator's superior wisdom is mainly manifested in the following three aspects. Establishing the order of the universe. The order of the universe mainly reflects in 1. The orderly operation of macroscopic celestial bodies, such as spiral galaxies, elliptical galaxies, the Milky Way galaxy, star systems, and so on. 2. The order of the structure of microscopic matter, such as the orderly movement of molecules, atoms, electrons, protons, nucleons, mesons, hyperons, and quarks. 3. The order of the cycle of life, such as when a person's spirituality reaches a certain level, they can become an immortal or a Buddha. When their spirituality declines to a certain degree, they can become a dog, a pig, a tree, etc. If a person's spirituality does not rise or fall during their lifetime, they can continue to be reincarnated as a human. Similarly, according to the rise and fall of their spirituality, a cow can become a human or other animals, and a celestial can either become a Buddha or a human. Designing the structure of life. The structure of life mainly refers to various genetic codes. Genes are like unexposed photographic negatives that can be copied repeatedly. The genetic codes, negatives, of different organisms are different. For example, human genes are different from pig genes, cat genes are different from bird genes, willow genes are different from peach genes, and rose genes are different from peony genes. Generally speaking, genes have the characteristic of being compatible with the same type and repulsive to different types. For example, the genes of people of different races such as Asian, black, and white belong to the same type and are compatible with each other, so they can intermarry and have children. However, the genes of humans, animals, and plants belong to different types and are repulsive to each other. Therefore, humans, animals, and plants cannot mate and reproduce offspring. Even if they mate, they cannot give birth to any life forms. Cows, sheep, dogs, cats, pigs, chickens, tigers, leopards, deer, mice, snakes, otters, etc. are all animals, but their genes are of different types, so they cannot mate and reproduce offspring. However, a small number of life forms have similar genetic structures, such as humans and apes, horses and donkeys, wolves and dogs, chickens and peacocks, and apple trees and pear trees, which can be crossbred or grafted. However, the offspring are not in the same form as their parents, and they cannot reproduce. For example, the offspring of a human and an ape is a wild man, who is sterile. The offspring of a horse and a donkey is a mule, which is also sterile. The offspring of a wolf and a dog is a hybrid, or coy dog, but the hybrid is also sterile. And the offspring of a chicken and a peacock is a phoenix, which is also sterile. Apple trees and pear trees can be grafted onto each other and grow apple pears, but the seeds of apple pears cannot reproduce, and so on. Although humans and monkeys have similar physical forms, their genetic structures are different, so humans and monkeys cannot mate. Even if they do, they cannot produce anything. This is why humans did not evolve from monkeys, and of course, we cannot say that monkeys degenerated from humans. A fertilized egg that can only be seen under a microscope can eventually develop into a tangible life form with a head, feet, eyes, nose, hair, eyebrows, skin, nails, heart, and blood vessels. This is the result of the greatest creator's superior wisdom. Human hair can grow indefinitely, but eyebrows and eyelashes stop growing after reaching a certain length. Why? Because if they grow too long, they will affect the vision and hinder the activity of the organism. From fetus to adulthood, the development of life forms is strictly proportional, which is also the design of the greatest creator. Otherwise, if the left leg grows to 1 meter long and the right leg has not yet developed, the head has already formed, and the ears are still not visible, wouldn't it be a monster? Or if the heart has already started working and the development of blood vessels has not yet begun, wouldn't the heart suffocate? In fact, mechanical engineers, architects, etc. are also designers of genes. The mechanical drawings they design and the construction drawings they design for machinery, buildings, bridges, etc. are a kind of genetic structure. Based on these genetic structures, workers can create real machines, buildings, bridges, etc. Any action of workers is carried out within the scope of the genetic structure drawing. If the number of floors designed for a building is 5, workers cannot build a 6-story building. Even the size, position, materials used for windows, how wires run, and where pipes are installed are all clearly specified in the construction drawing, which is a genetic structure. Evolutionists believe that humans evolved from monkeys, monkeys evolved from insects, and insects evolved from single-celled organisms. Birds evolved from land animals, and land animals evolved from aquatic animals. This is like saying that airplanes evolved from buildings, and buildings evolved from Swiss mechanical watches. Knowing the past and future, Great Mentor Chairman Mao Zedong predicted the future development of more than 20 things in his lifetime, and the outcome of the development and changes of these things basically matched his predictions. Why? Because Mao Zedong was a wise person. Anyone who can predict the future development of one or several things is a wise person. The higher the wisdom, the more accurate the prediction of the future development and changes of things. Scientists are wise people because all human creations and inventions are guided by human wisdom. Any activity without wisdom is inevitably a mess and a chaotic state. A country with everything in order, balanced development, and people living and working in peace and contentment must have a wise advisory group at its leadership. If the people complain, the criminals are rampant, then the leadership of this country must have a brain without wisdom. A family that cannot cultivate an accomplished person even after 3 generations is a family without wisdom. A person who spends his whole life in poverty, unable to seize any opportunity, and with no distinction between the importance of his daily activities, is definitely a person without wisdom. Some people can see opportunities from the change of national leaders, the trend and direction of future development from every new policy introduced by the country, and adjust their activity goals accordingly. Such people are wise. Some people can see the essence of things from a phenomenon and know the time of qualitative change from the speed of quantitative change. Such people are highly wise. Zhuge Liang is such a person, and his memorial on sending out the troops and borrowing the east wind are clear evidence. Everything in the universe operates according to laws and regulations. Whether it's the movement of celestial bodies, the growth of life, the changes of time, or the variations of human society, nothing can escape the constraints of the laws. Those who understand the laws of motion and change of things can predict the future. Humanity can now predict the timing of solar and lunar eclipses hundreds of years in advance, determine the heavenly stems and earthly branches, as well as the 5 elements of a specific day tens of millions of years into the future. We can forecast changes in weather and fluctuations in temperature weeks ahead and understand that it takes 18 years for a newborn to grow into a young adult. Skilled doctors can roughly estimate the date of a patient's death based on their symptoms, and some people with special talents can calculate a person's lifespan, just like the Taoist, who told Mao Zedong the numbers 99 and 8,341. Everything in the universe is related to cause and effect, is inevitable, and follows certain laws. All things have a set fate, a beginning and an end. Therefore, the more wisdom one has, the more one understands the mysteries of the universe. The greatest creator knows everything about the past and future of all things in the universe, while gods and demons know the operation and changes of the vast majority of things, and Buddhas know the past and future of human beings. Due to the limitation of genetic structure, Humans can never reach the level of knowing everything. Just like the decimal places of pi, humans will never know where the decimal ends, whether it is infinite or finite, cyclic or non-cyclic. Although humans can never reach the level of wisdom of the greatest creator, they can reach the level of wisdom of gods and Buddhas. The problem is that when we reach the level of wisdom of gods and Buddhas, we cannot be human anymore, nor do we want to be human. Ordinary people seek to survive, but with the wisdom of gods and Buddhas, we no longer seek survival, but instead seek death. Life has become meaningless, and death becomes the only thing that matters. If we die well, we can go to the world of the thousand-year world. If we die badly, we will suffer in the next life. The happiness and joy of human beings lie in ignorance and naivety. Once we have knowledge, suffering and trouble will follow, and the happiness and joy as humans will no longer evoke any enthusiasm, and we will realize that life is a tragedy, just like a person seeing a deer happily bouncing around, surrounded by wolves, worms, tigers, and leopards. The deer can only feel happy and joyful because of its ignorance. If it knew the various dangers it faced, it would never be happy again. As human beings, no matter how happy and joyful the life of a deer may seem, we will never want to become a deer, just as the gods and Buddhas will never want to become human beings, unless this human being comes from a higher level of life space with a special mission.